Hey everybody, and welcome back to Midtown, USA. We are here on day 13 of summer, and we are harvesting corn. We're chopping corn here on our big field 17. We're going to put some of this in the fermentation silos down here at the farm, and then we're going to put the rest of this corn in our BGA bunker. So as you can see from the forecast, we have rain pending any moment now. Still have clear skies, so we're not really sure when it's going to come. We ended up spending all of morning basically caring for our cows and our sheep. We're up to 195 cows at this point. Yesterday we sold off a load of compost. We also sold off all of the wool that we had collected to this point. Let's go ahead and take this load down to the silo. You can see here we're using the BGA's JCB and tractor and Joskin trailer, and we've also made use of the New Holland forage harvester that is a part of the BGA fleet. So you may notice that our money amount is rather low as to compared to what it was last time we were together. That is because we're making some equipment swap outs happen here on the farm. We sold our square baler, and we sold the bale stacker. And we've sold, or we will be selling the 4-bale fork for the telehandler in lieu of the one of the bale grabbers that is in the straw add-on. The Crone square baler that's part of the straw add-on, and the bale accumulator that's part of the straw add-on. So basically going to use some straw add-on equipment next time we get around to baling, which will more than likely be the grass that we planted up in field 10. That should come due in early autumn. So we'll be baling that with the new square baler and using the bale accumulator and the new bale grabbers, for lack of a better term, to offload it off the trailer and put it in our bale shed. I also went ahead and put down the pallet sell point on the map. I suspect at some point we will probably get around to making pellets. And we're going to probably need to sell them at some point or somewhere. So I didn't know if this map would work with selling pellets at the wood chip place, or where we could basically sell pellets at. So I went ahead and put that down. We put it down up here at the warehouse. So there's a pellet sell point now up at the warehouse. And on the mark of pellets, something that I just discovered as I was working the compost master yesterday. We took 60,000 liters of compost and sold that, and made enough money to buy the square baler. And whew, I'll tell you, that thing is expensive. That was $318,000 for that square baler. So after we took 60,000 liters of compost out of the compost master, we were basically in a position where we needed to resupply the compost master. So we went ahead and took some straw that we had stored in our hayloft here at the main farm. And when I was filling the straw up, I noticed that we had an option to fill with hay pellets. So the hayloft that's here at the main farm is already configured to accept hay pellets. So that's an interesting little note there. This may be the first map released that is able to store pellets of any kind. So I did ask the mod author in a message over at FSUK if that was planned or intended, or if it was just an interesting happenstance that the hayloft, just right here to my left, by the way, that's the hayloft. Once again, you bring your loose material up here. The gate opens up. You'll dump in there, and on the other side of the building is an empty point, a spout to empty out the loft. But anyway, we had hay pellets as an option to fill. We didn't have straw pellets, so I asked him about straw pellets. It may be that since straw pellets don't have any value with the animals, that they were left off the storage list. With the idea that you would want to make and store hay pellets, but you're not going to necessarily want to store straw pellets. You're going to want to take those straight off to the sell point or the bagging facility. I also asked the map author about those balloons that we saw last video. The sale balloons up at the shop, and what he told me is that was part of the default the default map, and he left that in. So indeed, when equipment is on sale, it will cause the little balloons to show up, and to let you know that there is an equipment sale or sale going on. I thought that was a pretty cool thing to have added to the base game, or the map, courtesy of Giants. So he did not add those balloons in. They were already in the map, and as such stayed in the map after it was edited. I'm hoping that this trailer load will get to the end of the field. Won't have to do a weird 13-point turn to get around. Looks like we'll make it. Looks like we'll make it to the end of the field. So if we don't get, well, I'm not expecting to get all of this field chopped by the end of the day. That's funny, but once it starts to rain, we do have not make it. Let's see. Let's see how bad we it turns so sharp. So that's not too terrible bad. When it rains, once it starts raining, we've got work to do. In fact, I think it's getting a little cloudy now. We need to fertilize the field up on the hill, field 12. We'll need to get that to its third stage of fertilization. Already fertilized field 16. We did that yesterday. The field up on the hill is the last field that we need to fertilize in order to get everything up to 3 stages, full fertilization, basically. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. At this point, first few episodes have come out, and getting fairly positive feedback to this point. Lots of folks are inquiring when the map's going to be out, and all I can really tell you is soon. And hopefully soon means it's already out by the time this video airs. If it's not out for some reason, I'll tell you what I know. And what I know is that the map author has figured out a way to basically modify the boundary graphics. You know, the image that shows up at the edge of the map to give it a little bit of distance. He's figured a way out to modify that for seasons. So up to this point, most boundary maps, if not all boundary images on maps, were static, and regardless of the season, they always look the same. What the map author is intending to do is to put in custom layers on that scenery image when the seasons change. So most notably, that would include winter. So in winter, the boundary image would have a layer of snow, or appear to have a layer of snow on the ground. So I thought that was a pretty cool touch, and hopefully it won't hold the map up too terrible long. Just because I know a lot of you guys are interested in wanting to play it, and I don't want you waiting too terrible long to be able to do that. And then another thing that he was batting around, and well, just time will tell, basically, as to if he ends up doing this, is to put in little icicles and little heaps of snow on roofs of buildings in winter. So that'd be, I thought that was a pretty cool idea also, to go to that specific level of detail for seasons players. It'd be interesting if now that the harvester has basically made his turn and went this way, it'd be interesting to see if the portion of the field to the right, if we can chop for our ferment silos, and the field to the left we'll chop for the BGA silos. That's going to be my goal. It all depends on how much chaff we get out of this this right half. Obviously, if we fill up both silos before we manage to chop this half, then the rest will obviously need to go into the bunker down to BGA. Even if we don't fill the two silos with the corn that's off here to the right, what we'll do is that'll be more than enough silage for the time that we're going to be playing the map. Because each of those silos holds like 700,000 liters. So that's like 1.5 million liters between the two silos. And technically, we could put 700,000 liters of chaff in, have it convert to silage, and then put another 700,000 liters of chaff in, and it would just basically sit in the input trigger. And as we took silage out, it would take that much from the input trigger and process it into the output trigger. But at that point, that's like 2.8 million liters of silage potential out of those two silos. So there is absolutely no need to put 2.8 million liters of chaff in these two silos. I'm not going to go through that much silage, that's for sure. Well, it is definitely clouded up, so the rain, I guess we could expect the rain any time now. Obviously, rain will put a severe halt to our chopping schedule. And if that happens, we do have the field up there on the hill to fertilize. Probably take another load of milk or two up to the milk sell point. There it is. Raining. We're done. Done the harvest for now. So let's go up here and tell our worker he can go home. She can go home. We'll bring this tipper back to the main farm and pick up that sprayer and get to spray in the field. Now, what we know in real life is we wouldn't be spraying a field during the rain, simply because that would... Oh, what? What? Can chaff in the rain? Well, I had no idea we could do that. Clearly, we have a wet crop symbol, and I was expecting to get the "you can't harvest in the rain" message. I was ready to turn him off. But hey, if he's going to let me chop in the rain, then we'll just go ahead and chop in the rain. We also had a few great demands off camera. We didn't really sell anything other than the compost. We would have sold more compost, but the price bottomed out, so I didn't really want to mess with that. Mess with selling compost at a reduced rate. Did sell our wool that we had accumulated. Our wool is going to pretty much stop production here in a couple days anyway, so I figured we might as well get the wool off, as we had a fairly decent price on it. Right. Well, that was a rather interesting turn there. The harvester did. Well, you will notice the traffic is much more civilized now. There was some folks that made some comments on the first few videos about how brutal the traffic is. And the traffic's much more civilized now. Let's go ahead and turn on our beacons. Just have a little fun with them. Thought we'd use the JCB for this work, since there was a fair bit of transport involved between the field and the farm, and the field and the BGA bunkers. And the BGA is not really concerned about us using their equipment for our own purposes, because what they do know is that when we have to, once we finally start piling up this stuff in the bunker down at the BGA, they do know and acknowledge that we're going to have to bring our own tractor down and and help level this stuff off, compact it. So basically we're trading usage of the harvester and the trailer and tractor here for the eventual use and need of the of our tractor to do the leveling. Still shocked that we can chop in the rain. Wasn't really expecting that. Is that a I wonder if that's a component of the new seasons 1.2, or if that's something that's always been in seasons, that you can chop in the rain. If you know, let me know in the comments if you've experienced being able to chop in the rain prior to this latest edition of seasons, which I think is 1.2.1. It's the one that has the little Whoopster field sensor thing. I think we're basically getting an up and down run on a trailer. I'll have to confirm that. I think we're pretty much getting an up and down run. Go ahead and going around here and fire up the control. Really can't see with that wiper thing, but it looks like our chaff is coming in there. We'll just kind of cruising along our helper here. Looks like she's got I think it's a she. It looks like she's got some ponytails, so got a lady helper today. Doing a pretty good job running that big old piece of equipment. Yep. Be nice if one of these mirrors could be tipped up or turned up. That mirror on the right, it'd be nice if that mirror could be rotated up to kind of see the top of the trailer. See the chaff shooting in. But we're not getting up and up in the back. We're getting basically a little more than one directional. Every pass on the field here is a load, it looks like. So over at UMRV, that's the map where we're doing our live streams at. We're doing seasons on that map, and we just bought 450 head of cows for that map to do our animal husbandry work on, and it got me thinking, got me wondering, what is the most animals that you have seen or played with on a map with seasons? Like right here, we've got 195 cows on 15-day seasons. So I think it's a pretty sizable amount, given how seasons toys with the feed requirements. What I'm interested to know from you all is what's the highest number of animals that you all have used or have kept with seasons, and what was your season length and duration when you did that? Was it 3 days? Was it 6 days? Was it 9 days? Was it 24 days? You know, what was the season duration? And how many animals did you have? You know, if you had 100 of each, that's not 300 animals. That's 100 of each. You had 250 cows. Well, let me know. I'm curious as to really what's the common number of cows and sheep and pigs that most people play with, and what's the maximum that you all have seen on a map. Maybe you watch a streamer or someone that uploads videos, and maybe they have had a fairly big herd. I'm just interested because I hear all the time on the forum posts over at Giants about these folks with like 10,000 pigs and everything. And that's fine and dandy for a base vanilla game, I guess. When you have 6 whole days to for every feeding, and you can basically rotate your, just churn away on your crops. Harvesting, you're planting, you're harvesting and planting to keep up with demand. But what I am curious on is with seasons, what's the most animals you've seen of any one animal type? So obviously if you're watching this video and you've never seen anybody have close to 200 cows, then it may be 195 cows, and maybe this video. So let me know, I'm just curious. Rain is gone, and it's 7:30. How about that? So we're gonna go ahead and chop, not through the night, but we're gonna chop for a little bit longer now, and we're not gonna fill that silo up tonight because that silo holds 700,000 liters, and last time I checked it was like, well, we just put 30 in, so last time I checked it was probably around 100,000 liters. Put this trailer in, we'll check our fill levels again, just to get a general an idea of where we are. Let's see if the harvester can shoot to this. Oh, looks like I'm too far away. Back up here. Look at that sunset. Hide our HUD, and let's do a little screenshot. I usually don't do screenshots, simply because I don't put up thumbnails of the screenshots. Or to have the nice nice cover image. That way I can put in the kind of the title of the video, and also put in the day and the season and all of that, and all the videos in the same playlist all have the same starting thumbnail. Just looks good in my opinion. It's just how I like to see it. So it's getting dark here, and darkness doesn't make for good videos. So we're going to go ahead and call our video here. I want to thank you guys for watching yet again. It really is a great, really does make you feel good when you got folks watching and commenting on the videos and enjoying your gameplay. Please go ahead and consider subscribing if you're not already a subscriber, simply because to get notifications of recently released content. We do map videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and we do Let's Play videos on this map, Midtown, USA, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the plan for this map is to run from summer, or technically we started in late spring, start late spring and run all the way through until the following autumn. We're gonna play all summer, all autumn, all winter, all spring, all summer, all autumn. We're not gonna go through 2 winters because we just don't need. So you can see here, this silo holds 713,000 liters. And so far we've got 116,000 liters of silage and 110,000 liters of chaff waiting to be processed in this silo. Got another silo over there with just under 3,000 liters of product. And we're basically chewing through, let's see here, the last time I fed those cows, I put almost three entire mix loads into the trough. That was like with 20% food left. So if we had 0 food, we would probably need 4 mixer wagons full of total mixed rations. And what I've been doing is I just started because with the corn here we'll have more silage than we have hay. So I started changing my ratio to 50% silage, 25% hay, and 25% straw. And what that equates out to is 8,000 liters of silage to 4,000 liters of each hay and straw bale. And if I'm putting in 4 loads, now it's not 4 full loads, but just consider it 4 full loads. And I'm loading 8,000 liters of silage per. That's 32,000 liters of silage I'm going through every 3 days, just to keep these cows fed. Because the mixer holds 16,000 liters, and I'm putting 50%, so I'm putting 8,000 liters in with each load. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Hopefully I muted the mic. It's winter time here, and I'm starting to get congested, getting a little cough going on. Seems like I can never get that frog out of my throat. It'll probably get worse before it gets better, but at least I'm not down with the flu, you know? It could obviously be far worse than it is, so. Till next time, guys. Happy farming.